Welcome everybody, my name is Juan Anthony. I also go by the Eclectic Intuitive. I go by that name because it's something that's really relates to my personality. I can never stick to one single thing, and so I always have decided that whether it's cards, crystals, energy reading, palm reading, I do it all, and I probably will continue to add to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and, if you guys are interested, connect with you. Spirit's not here to surprise you, Spirit's here to connect with you. And so with your intention, hopefully you find something that you're seeking. And one slogan that I go by is, there are no coincidences. All right? So if you guys are interested, I always like to start off my gallery readings with just breathing. And so I'm gonna do in through my nose, out through my mouth, together, and we'll start that, all right? So, second breath in. And last breath in. My signal to Spirit is when I explain to you how I work. So the way that I work is I see images, I hear things, I feel them, and sometimes I just know. And so as I'm reading you, I'm gonna ask you questions, and that's gonna kind of get us in the flow together, okay? And so I'm gonna just go ahead, and if I can start with you, may I have your name?
Sandy.
Sandy, it's nice to meet you, Sandy. Thanks for coming out today.
Thank you.
So first thing that I want, oh sure.
I just want to say, so you're not surprised there's no trickery involved, I am a psychic medium.
Oh.
I am a working psychic medium.
Okay, cool.
But I just find it interesting to hear how others connect and...
I do too, oh my God. So this is very fun. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks for coming. So I'm gonna start off with my first energy that's kind of coming up for you. When I see this image, it reminds me of the idea of kind of going deep within emotions, okay? And so I'm gonna ask you, is there something recently that has kind of caused you to kind of look back or even hold back some type of like big emotion that's kind of within you? And it's okay if nothing connects. We can always continue on. I know it's very vague, but it's just kind of an answer.
The first thing I thought of when you start to say that is that's my specialty of when I do readings. The digging out the deep.
Okay, because I'm getting this energy of like shadow work and like really taking up those things. And the image that I get, it's sometimes relevant to the person, sometimes it isn't. But, and also I will stare at random places, so just so you guys know, I'm not ignoring you.
Oh no, I know.
All right,
because
cool.
It's disconcerting if we look right at you when we're connecting with spirit.
Yeah. So the image I get is like always a whale, right? And when I see that whale and I see that whale take a big breath and it goes right under, I know that this person is dealing with like, or works in your case, works with this energy of like really going into the deep waters of those areas of your life. And I'm gonna kind of follow the vein of what you've shared, because I know there's significance there, of kind of working with those people, of going into those places, because you're somebody that has done it yourself. And so because you've gone through that hermit phase of touching those deep areas, that's gifted you to be able to pull into other people's where they might not get ready. And also when I get emotional during a reading, it's not necessarily my emotion, but it's definitely spirit being like, hey, like this is some deep stuff. And I think that you're comfortable with your clients and people coming in front of you, like literally being so vulnerable, and yet they feel so safe in front of you. Like they will like let it all out. I'm sure you've heard all types of things from people that they probably wouldn't even tell their own spouse, because they've come into your presence and your vibration causes this like freedom to do it. And I feel as though like, and I'm gonna say this frankly, like I don't know if they have to work with you very long to find like the release. Like I feel as though they work with, like I'm getting chills, like they work with you and they're just like almost quicker than they expect. They're just like, wow, why do I feel so much better? You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that they don't have like work to do after. I do feel like you give them that kind of direction, like, hey, this is how you, because you have to fill your own cup and you have to make sure that you're doing this, but like you're doing it in a way that like spirit uses you as a conduit, I want to say, like to kind of give them this elevation and this space to take up in their own body. Because some people, I feel as though live within the spirit kind of wants me to talk about this, so some people live in this space where they have this whole body, right? And they live in like only one little area, right? Of this like pain body or this area, and like coming into this healing and working with someone like you, they're able to take up more of their authentic self and like really own it. But in order to continue to expand, it's their responsibility. And I feel like you let them know that. Like, I'm here to like be here during this time in your life, but I'm not here to like make all of it happen. This is your life. Does that resonate with you? Like, I feel like you're not a practitioner that's like, I have to be there the whole time. Like, I know that if I maybe I only need to see you 1 or twice, and that's it. You know what I mean?
I tell people I don't want to see them for a year or 6 months.
Thank you. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. No, because that's like resonating with me, because there's a lot of different energy. You know, people have different ways, and I respect them. But I resonate with that, and so I feel like Spirit's wanting me to say that, like, you're so confident in what it is that you've been called to do, because we all have different gifts, right? And like, you are confident in your lane, and you know that like, you'll come back when when you need to, or never again.
Right.
But I know that when I saw you, I did what I was meant to do, and what I was called to do, and you empower them to like walk forward in their own, you know, space. So, I asked, like, do you have any questions regarding what I've said, or do you have something clarity that brought up while I was speaking? Because the flow is here, so it's always, you know, helpful if you have a question. If you don't, it's okay.
I don't. I am very grateful for that validation, because that's what I feel.
Yeah.
You know, but so, you know, hearing it from Spirit through you is amazing validation. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And if I may add, like, I like with my left hand, I'm feeling very much like, and I'm getting emotional, I guess, so this is interesting. So we'll see where this goes, if it's okay if I continue with you. I feel like this, like, kind of like, I want to describe it as like fire, right? Like, and when I think the left hand, for me, I always set the intention that my left hand is my receiving hand, which most people do. And so I feel as though like you're due for like some type of like, I don't know how to say this any other way, but like an upgrade, or like some type of like, something that you're going to be given. I don't know if like your guides or something has been kind of talking to you about this, like, because we're all going through the ascension. This year is an 8 universal year, so it all is about expansion and growth. And I feel as though like, do you do also like, not only just like kind of speaking, but like healing practice, like any type of like laying on of hands, or like something that you use, like?
I do not. I feel like just being in my energy with me is healing for people.
Yeah, so then this must be for you, is what I want to say then. This is something for you to receive, especially because it's in my left hand, that there's some type of like release and some type of embrace, because we never stop growing, right?
Okay.
And there's always more room for that. And I feel as though like you're coming into this space where you will kind of like expand even more. May I ask sorry, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I have been. It's come to me just recently that I really need to stop fooling around and get into helping people with the dark and the evil.
Okay.
To getting rid of that.
But it's gonna start first with your further expand. Because I always say this, because Spirit said it to me once, and I'll never stop saying it. There's never completion, there's only expansion.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel as though that's what you're entering in. May I ask the month and then the day of your birth?
September 24th.
September 24th. So I love to use numerology, so I'm just kind of do a quick little math here.
I'm a 6.
You're a 6, but I want to see what your personal year is next year. So I'm going to go 9 plus 9 is 18, and then you said 24. All right, so that's 20. So 24. That equals 20. So you're going into a 6th year next year. So that's beautiful. This year was a 5 for you, and so 5 is all about change, movement, shaking things around.
Oh,
it's getting like yeah. And you either like enjoy it, or you're like, you know what I mean. And I feel as someone like you, like you've had those moments where most of us have, where we're just kind of like, I accept it, all right? But maybe the first few times, because we're human, right? We're in the human experience, and that's the gift of being able to connect intuitively, and then like all of a sudden kind of like still be reminded like you're still living your human experience, okay?
Yep.
And so I feel like it's nice. I love being humbled in that way, and I feel like you acknowledge that, and I love when somebody can just be like, yeah, I didn't get it the first time or second time, but then I accepted it, you know what I mean? And you're like, I get it, I'm with it. And so I feel as though that everything that's taken place this year, next year, it's all about the heart, right? And it's all about kind of like opening it up. And if you are a 6th life path, as you shared, it's going to be that much more impactful for you. So this is revolving around family, friends, your relationships with them, and also your relationship with yourself. And so I think the reason why they're reminding me now, I'm like, why was I crying so much? That like I feel like there's going to be a even more emotional releasing for you because of what you've talked about. To be able to step into spaces to kind of dispel the density, you have to obviously raise your vibration, right? And I know your vibration's already elevated, but they're like, I mean, when I told you I felt fire. Like, I feel like I'm getting chills, like it's going to continue. So please get that image in your mind, what that looks like, because as you have it, the excitement that you feel is gonna lead you to the places that will open you up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Which
you're
is probably
awesome.
why this year has been a down year, a rest year.
It can be, and it was a
Whether I
lot.
need it,
It can be
whether I
like it
wanted
moves
it or
stuff
not.
around, like it shifts it, right? Like it's moving things around, whether it's on the inward or outward. But it's definitely moved things around so that next year your heart's gonna be a little bit tender. Okay, it's gonna be like energetically, it will be almost like this year was kind of the how they like kind of get the ground ready. I forgot the term they use. You know how they like put that like spiky thing in and get it all soft. Tilling, yes.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm seeing. Like that's what they're showing me. I feel like that this year was opening, you know, just getting it more and soft, so that next year when those emotions come up, because you're a tough one, you're strong, you're real strong, so you can like kind of like push stuff down a little bit, not in like a, you know, but you're like, I got this. I know the tools. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know who, you know what I mean. But sometimes, and I can relate, it can get in our way. But this stuff that happened this year and just kind of opened it up and tenderized it is the word I'm going to use it that day.
That makes sense.
Is next year you're going to feel it a little bit more because you're going to be a little more vulnerable. All right. I feel led to just kind of end this with a card.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right. Cool. Very cool. So, Angel of Divine Timing. I'm going to leave you with that.
Enough said.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I appreciate it.
And your
You
name
were
again?
spot on with everything.
Oh,
Sandy.
Sandy, you're awesome.
Would you like? I know it's weird, but I brought my business cards.
I would love it.
So,
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
Like, I love other intuitives and like, oh my God, stop. Thank you
I know,
so much.
right?
Oh, this is very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, just
I don't-
remember, if when they're giving a reading, when he's giving a reading for someone, it's something in that may be resonating and maybe not for
Totally.
you as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
The way that I heard it is spirit like always economizes messages. They're like, I'm gonna stack it. If I'm talking to you, might be talking to you too. So I'm gonna just see where I'm gonna go. Sometimes I go direct like I did there, and sometimes I might say something, and since there's only two of you, one of you guys are gonna resonate with it. So I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna do there. Also, just to kind of share a little bit more, you'll see me kind of muttering to myself. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with light language, but that's something that like I've just always had since I was like probably in my early 20s that I connected with, and it's just always been there, and it feels like I have like marbles in my mouth. So if I don't mutter, even if it's quiet, like I feel like I'm like gonna not be able to talk. So sometimes it just is. So just to put that out there. And I believe that when it's being spoken, it's just kind of releasing like light codes and energy codes and just like doing what it does. And we don't need to mentally understand it. It just does what it does. Because you're here in such a receiving mode. So spirit in the unseen is like doing a lot, all right? So as I'm talking, may I have your name here in the tie-dye?
Kim.
Kim? All right, Kim. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so when I first got in here, I'm like, you know, I just kind of like look around and see what kind of like draws me in. I was very much drawn to you, so I thought I was gonna go to you first, and then Spirit was like, oop, no, we're going to Sandy. So, you know, so I was like, all right, I'm leaving that there. So I just wanted to point that out because I think there's significance in there, okay? When I'm looking at you, I first am being brought to the attention of the color of your aura right now, and so the prominent color that's coming through, is the color green. And when I see the color green, and obviously if you guys are familiar with that, it's speaking into that heart chakra, and it does feel as though like it's there, right? Like it's so beautiful, and I feel as though you have this like kind of like tender touch, and they keep wanting me to like, I've never said it like this, but like, you know, this green thumb, so I don't know if that resonates as like just like, you know, in that respect, but it's almost like you really have this ability to kind of like make things grow in some way. They're reminding me of this image. There's this cartoon that I used to watch. It was this troll. It was the Troll in Central Park. It was what it was called. Do you remember that movie? And so he had that green thumb, and he would just touch things, and they would just kind of like go. And so when I'm talking to this about you, I want to know, like, where is it that you're feeling like that gift of the green thumb isn't working the way it used to, or and I want to know what pops up for you first.
Well, I definitely not have a green thumb.
It's
does,
it's
but,
okay.
you know,
No, that's fine. Yeah, that sometimes it's literal, sometimes it's
well, yeah, I'm a healer.
You are a healer.
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm a
okay.
Reiki
Yeah, that's it. Because like the green is healing, like it's healing.
Yeah, I'm a Reiki master.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
for animals mostly.
Okay.
But
All right.
tend to seek me out, so it's okay.
All right, cool. Thank you for that confirmation,
Yeah.
you know, because spirit gives me something, and then I always say it's like an intuitive conversation, right? Like, because I'm like, they're connected, so thank you for that. So that's where that green is coming. They want to talk about your healing. So that's very cool, because we got healing energy here, but like in a different respect, like, and then I'm very interesting. So we'll see where this goes for you, okay? And so I guess I'm gonna go, nope, they're making me circle back. So answering that question regarding your healing, do you offer your practices like regularly? Do you have like a business, like is that your only thing that you do as far as like professional, or like?
I want to, well, I've been trying to kick it off more. I'm gonna take a break from teaching. I teach elderly people aerobics and things.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna end that so that I can concentrate more on the healing. I have done it for friends and people, but
so that's where so thank you for the confirmation.
Like
so that's why they're talking about it like going like this, because it wants to grow, like it's there, right?
Grow, yeah.
But it wants to expand. So again, I just want to keep making this connect. Expansion keeps coming up right now. So like what's the first direction that you're going to take with regards to like making that transition for yourself?
Basically, I'm going to start hitting some shops and stuff that I didn't do before, and I'm going to bring my paperwork that I had created and my cards and stuff to hopefully, because I'd like to do it with animals mostly.
Okay.
Because I connect with animals.
Yes.
A lot.
Very cool. Have you offered it in like even like volunteer settings, like shelters? Okay. And how has that gone?
I'm going to be doing that soon to the neighbor.
Okay.
One that's next to me, and then I also offered it for veterans for free.
Okay. They're giving me that confirmation, like there's something there. Like lean into that. I understand that that's like, that will, you know what I mean? How can I make that into a profession? But like, I feel as though the exposure in that respect is causing like, is going to really like, so whether, because when you were talking about, I'm sorry, I feel like I have to turn around.
That's okay.
So I feel that I gotta just do it. So I feel like that's significant. Like the turnaround is mean like we need to switch perspective. Because when you started talking about going to the shops, I don't know why, but I felt like like a stop, you know, and please, there's always free, you know, use your free will. If it still resonates with you, follow it. Don't listen to me. But that's what and I always hate giving that type of response to somebody, especially when they're sharing something so special like you are. But I do want to say to you that I think that going this route of offering it in these certain settings, whether it's like at an animal shelter or whether like where I don't know why they're bringing me to horses, like, but like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been told, that they see me doing a lot of horses, and I had a horse, so I'm very much into
Okay, thank you for that confirmation.
That would be amazing with the trout.
Yes. Yeah.
So, do you have any questions based off what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of confirmation going on, so I'm excited for it. But I want to make sure that you feel led, you know, and complete.
Well, I just want to make sure that it is going to start blossoming.
I do feel this energy. It just has to go in the direction. It feels as though the most beneficial. That's the way I want to say it. Is if you offer it in this more volunteering respect, and you know, obviously get your cards and your social media if you don't already have that. You know what I mean? Like to have somewhere where they can find you, you know, and then you're leaving it in these places, because I don't know why, like I feel as though like it just feels like something wonderful where like, let's say somebody adopts a pet or something, they're giving me this idea of like, they would reference like, hey, you know, like you're finding a little difficulty or you're feeling like you're settling in, you need to call out, you said Kim, right, is your name? You need to reach out to Kim, she might be able to help you out, or, you know what I mean? And understand that do not be discouraged that there's anybody else doing a similar thing, because only you can do what you're doing. And even if that's not significant now, it may be later where you might have a moment where you're just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, understand that this is feeding your soul.
Okay.
This is literally
Yeah.
feeding your soul. Like what you're doing, you're giving yourself space. Not that what you did before, because I also feel as though whatever you were doing before that you mentioned, like, was also feeding your soul.
Yeah.
Like you did just who you are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I feel like this is your next season,
Okay.
and it feels very like serendipitous. Like it's like, you know, it's perfect timing. You know, this is the right time for it to happen. You've kind of gone through what you've gone through.
Yep.
So I do feel very good about it. I just want you to take it at the pace that it's being given to you.
Okay.
Because they're saying that through these little moments of volunteer, you're really going to kind of like find the way you want to do it. That's going to
Okay.
make it very unique to you, you know?
Okay.
Like, I feel like, you know, like I keep wanting to go like this, like just like you know? Like,
Yeah.
I want to be like, just the way, like, like
Yeah.
just the way you like it.
That's
And then
okay.
when you like it, that's when it's going to kind of go.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
Do you have any questions or clarifying? Like, all right, I feel that. All right, cool. So I got by the book, okay? And in this, you see elephants, you see a smaller one, a bigger one, and then it goes. And so it's saying, like, what I'm kind of saying, yeah, start that small place
Yeah.
and let it grow in its own
Its own
time.
way.
I also
Okay.
am very drawn to the number 11. 11 is a master number. It represents visionary. So it's saying hold that same image, similar to what I was saying up here to Sandy. Like, get that image that gets you excited of what you want it to look like, right?
Yep.
And once you start feeling that excitement, because it's gonna come, even randomly, you'll be driving. Yeah. So it's in your car, driving, or in the shower, that place where you're not meaning to meditate, but you end up meditating anyway,
Yeah.
and you start getting excited about something that hasn't even occurred yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you something that was given to me that, all right, you see that image, whatever was getting you excited, you feel the butterflies, and you're like, oh my God, this is so cool, I'm so excited that I'm gonna do this. Now remove the image and just sit with the feeling.
Okay.
Because what that's going to do is create abundance within your spirit, saying that the image brought the excitement,
Yeah.
but I don't want to limit it. So but I do want this feeling to be the beacon to draw it in.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All
Awesome.
right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. May I have your name?
Debbie.
Debbie?
Yes.
Debbie. So I feel like it's weird, but like, you know, I usually close my eyes, but the way that I'm closing my eyes now, it's like I don't want to open them. So there's something that you're like not maybe like giving, like seeing it for what it is. It almost feels like I feel forced in a way. Like I feel like, you know, like I'm like holding, so I want to ask, like, is there anything that resonates, and it's okay if it doesn't, but like something where you're like, you see it, but you're almost like either giving it too much of the benefit of the doubt, or you're ignoring it, whether it's like a pain or something, whether it's emotional or physical pain. So I just want to kind of hear what first pops up for you. And it's okay if you don't.
Odd thing.
Could you just like elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, let's see what else comes then, you know, it's all right. Yeah, I'm gonna circle back. So like, it's like it feels as though something. So maybe something that you're gonna maybe even be difficult now, but I'm gonna ask Spirit to kind of bubble it up for you to see it, like something that you've like willfully ignored, or you willfully put it to the side. You're like kind of like, you know that you should address it, or you know that you should like kind of like handle something, and you're just like no, you know. So I'm gonna go with that, and it's all right.
I mean, it could be. It could be.
If it could be a number of things.
It could be work.
I feel like it's something too private to be doing in.
And that's something that, you know, for you to kind of sit with, okay? And that's comfortable. Because I don't control what comes through. You give the permission for what we're, you know, but Spirit wouldn't bring it up. Spirit wouldn't bring it up unless you either want to talk about it, or at least it will sit with you later, okay? So if you want to let that go, then we'll see what happens. All right? Is there anything, any of those areas, did you want clarity, I guess? How about that?
It might draw another two.
What's that?
Could it be like a deceased husband? No, or I don't know.
So I pulled a card here, and again, we'll see if this pivots it, or if we're in the same vein. We'll find out together, okay? So I have the Empress card, and when I see the Empress card, it's making me feel as though the feeling of closing my eyes feels as though this idea of this lack feeling, because the Empress lacks nothing. And so where do you feel powerless then? Do you feel in control
I don't feel in control.
of...
Things that you want.
Things that I want.
How is your relationship with this spirituality and like things like this? Like how, like, are you open to it,
yeah,
or is this
yeah.
a lifelong thing that you've sought out?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not. Listen, everything is significant. I never see a missed opportunity.
What did that card say again?
It's the Empress. It's all about this energy of being, having more than enough, right? But I asked them if there was clarification on the closing of the eyes, and so I feel as though there's something there where, and I'm gonna go with this. I will kind of stick with this because it's gonna come to you. Then it must come to you, because as Sandy pointed out, there may be something where you're just kind of like, this was kind of to bring your attention to it, especially if you don't have any clarifying questions as far as like, well, actually, I really want to know about this. If there's nothing you really want to know about, Spirit's not here to surprise you, it's here to connect with you. And that's to empower you. Okay, Debbie? Because I want you to feel empowered. Because that idea of powerlessness is something that I don't think that that's not who you are. Like, you are a powerhouse. And even the way that you're speaking to me is a lot more like demure and a lot more like understated than like where you could present. So it's very interesting to feel this feeling, and I feel as though if it doesn't come up for you right now, if you don't feel like there's an area where you feel that in, then that's for you to kind of find out after this, unless you have anything to say back to me.
I don't speak my mind.
She's afraid of it.
Yeah,
But you have a lot to say though.
I do, and I don't have the courage. That's what I don't have.
So,
courage.
okay.
I don't
All right.
have
No,
the
this is
courage to
cool.
say
Like, no, I'm
what
glad.
I want to say. I don't have the courage to go out and do what I want to do. I need to learn to venture out on my own rather than just stay home. I don't have confidence.
And this is okay. I'm just gonna, because it popped in my head, and when they do, I always share it. Does the number 13 have any significance for you?
13.
Or 31?
Well, I do like Friday the 13th. That's about it.
All right. That's all right.
What's the other one? 31? No.
Yes, or it's the opposite. So when they touched on that powerlessness that I talked on, and you didn't even like kind of admit it yourself, in a way, I feel as though that's where it's kind of touching. So there is definitely, I'm going to leave you with this, because like I said, I'm not getting more information about it other than this. Wherever you're closing your eyes, meaning willfully, like the Spirit Pro pointed out, wherever you're kind of like, it's not there, if I don't see it, I don't need to address it kind of energy, understand that they're calling you to address it. They're calling you to address it, because the Empress doesn't lack anything. The Empress actually allows things to come to her. She's a very yin energy, but when I looked at her, they were pointing me to this area of like the heart, because she holds a shield where there's a heart on it, and I feel as though that's something where like you need to kind of let that power go, because we always think that the heart's like this sensitive, like mushy, like, oh, this is our powerhouse. Like, even when I'm channeling, I know that the third eye's powerful, but this is where I'm channeling from. Like, this is where I'm channeling from. And so I need to empower you and put you in that position to know that wherever, you're gonna see it. I'm sorry I keep talking, but sometimes the energy's so there, so I gotta keep repeating myself. Wherever it is, you're gonna catch yourself, whether it's at work or at home or with somebody, and you're gonna catch yourself feeling like, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it. But then that's gonna trigger something in you to hear Spirit and be like, no, this time we don't want you to ignore it. We want you to step out. We want you to step out. And I'm just gonna grab a card here. Let's see, I even want to grab it with my right hand, which is our hand of power. Oh, stop. So this is the angel of like bully prevention. And anytime I see this card, it's always about somebody who stands up. So either you stand up for others or you stand up for some type of injustice where somebody, even if it's for you, you're standing up to somebody who's definitely overstepping themselves.
And
Okay? And
It's
okay, so like you're being empowered today, and I'm gonna leave you with this because I feel Spirit saying this to me. If you receive it and this is your choice, like you're being downloaded with the empowerment for when the time is right. So don't overthink it. Don't be like, what am I gonna say? How am I gonna say it? If you want, with just a silent yes within your heart, like I'm willing to receive whatever you want to provide to me for my highest good, of course. And then just understand when it happens, you'll step out, and it's gonna really change your trajectory of where you're headed. It's really gonna change it, and what I mean by change is that it's gonna be in a place where you're gonna be satisfied with your reality. You understand? Like truly satisfied with it. Thank you for that journey. Thank you for like walking that through.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. Thank you. It was lovely seeing you. Oh, all right. She can slip out sometime. Welcome. How you guys doing? My name is Juan Anthony. I'm gonna sit with the energy. Sometimes I'll go direct to you. Sometimes I'm just gonna kind of say something and see who connects with it. Okay. May I have your name here?
Emily.
Emily? Emily. Nice to meet you. Okay, so I'm gonna start out, I kind of explain some type of energy or something, and then I'm gonna ask you what that means to you, or what's the first thing that kind of comes up for you. So I feel like a really fast-paced energy. Like what I'm feeling is like either you feel like you're like headed towards something quickly, or you want something really bad, or there's something that you're like really like fume, like it feels very much like a sprint energy. So I wanna know like what pops up when I'm saying that to you.
Alignment.
Alignment? Okay, so you're seeking like that spiritual, but you're seeking it quick. You're like kind of like very focused on it.
The recognition of it, yes.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That's all right. So how long have you been on this? You know, because we all kind of go through those spiritual awakenings
Since
and
February.
Huh?
February.
February of this year. Very cool. And what triggered it? What was like
A meditation where I saw source energy.
Beautiful.
My inner being.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I see the image, and again, this image is either just like open for interpretation or maybe specific to you, but I see this energy of like a dolphin. I saw you as and like, it's cool because I already saw a whale, so there's a lot of like water energy, which has to do with emotion a lot. But like I saw you as a dolphin, just like zoom, 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 like you're going in and out, like, you know what I mean? And so when I see that water energy, obviously it is connected with intuition and like intuitive abilities, and so I feel as though, like, you know what I mean? You're like dipping out of it, and even the air is intuition, right? It's communication, it's connection, but it feels like you're going in and out of a lot of things, right? So have you found your niche yet with your connection with Source? Like, you know, we all have different things, oracle cards, tarot cards, crystals, like what do you feel most connected?
Abraham Hicks.
Oh my, you're talking to the right person. When I tell you what,
We're going through a broadcast.
oh, are you
next
serious?
week.
Oh my God, you're so blessed to be able to go to. I have not had the pleasure, but I love Abraham. I love Esther. Like I love that. That is so cool. So how do you feel about, because there's significance when you bring something up. How is your connection with the idea of manifestation? Like how do you feel about that energy, like those emotional set points? When they talk about that.
I feel like,
what do you do when you're at that set point? Sorry for interrupting you. What do you feel when you're on that emotional set point that's very close to the manifestation? So that's going to be gratefulness, excitement. What do you do when you're there?
What do I do?
When it comes up within you?
I feel like a child. I like bubble inside, and it just wants to come out.
Yes.
And be loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your definition of manifestation? And it doesn't have to be
Now.
Now.
Right now.
I love this.
It is always now.
It's because this is confirmation of what I want to say to you. It's making visible what's already there. Mm-hmm. And that's right there what you're saying. I feel as though I'm bringing it up because they want you, when you're in that excitement stage, when you're in that place, marinate as much as possible. And I'm feeling as though you are like, no, I get what you're saying. I do it. Continue to do it. Marinate. Enjoy that right there. is so much sweeter than what will be made visible. That right there is like, that's where it's at, right? Wow, you're really blessed to really connect with this teaching like so early on. Like you have no, like that's very, I mean, it's people struggle, right?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all do, all in varying ways. You know what I mean? Do you have any questions for me? Since this kind of come up, because they wanted to talk about your spiritual and like how shum you are, and I think that's why they said marinate, right? Like get excited, continue to follow your excitement for as long as it takes you, and I know you understand that, but understand to really just enjoy, as you put it, the now as much as possible. Because there'll be a period, and this isn't a warning, this isn't a negative thing, this is, you can handle this. There'll be a period where it may not seem at all. And that excitement may feel like as far as last year feels. But this day right now, just us talking, is going to remind you to go, that's not how it works. And that's when you really, really find the abundance within the teaching, is when you're in that place where there feels like there's nothing but dry desert around you, and that there could be no tree in sight, and you see it. Go ahead.
I did think of a question that I would have.
Please.
Is there a significance in feeling like there's going to be like a moment in an Abraham teaching where I'm just like, boom, and my mind just opens to all of it clearly, and like in my now feel all of it click in, like a turning point, I guess.
No, this is a fair question, and I'm going to circle back to what I was saying. That type of idea, which that I can relate to, that will cause like a frustration that you don't need to be worried about. So understand that right now you have everything within you to know and experience whatever you feel like. Oh, there's another further way of me understanding it. When you're thinking another further way, you're stepping out of the timelessness. You're stepping out of what you already have within you, as though you are not like complete right now. The idea of manifestation is that I am complete right now, even if my mind is telling me differently. Even if my behaviors are telling me differently, I am complete right in this moment. So this is the part of manifestation that kind of disconnects with people, because I understand what you're saying, I feel like, and it's coming through, and again, resonate with what resonates with you, but this is the harder teaching, that right now, that which you are seeking is also seeking you. There's no whatever it is, you following that emotional set point that I brought up earlier, where you're marinating in that excitement, because I feel as though, Spirit's kind of confirming, like, the reason I asked you that, what do you do when you're there? You're like, oh, I just feel like a kid and I feel great. Stay there. Just keep staying there. Don't think that, oh, if I stay here, that means then now the good thing's gonna come. No, the good thing is happening right now. That emotion that you're feeling, that excitement, that gratefulness, that is what you're seeing, not what's coming after. What's coming after is cool. That's awesome. Whatever it is you're desiring and Spirit wants to give it to you, but that excitement and that gratefulness, that's where the money is. So I'm gonna keep saying that to you so that you remind yourself, because then when all the stuff comes, it's not gonna really wow you as much because you've already enjoyed it before you could touch it. And that's when you're really connecting with the idea of manifestation. I don't have to touch it to feel the excitement of it. Does that resonate with you a little bit? That's why I'm so surprised that the Spirit knows you can handle this. That's why, so early on, you're already adopting this teaching. You're gonna be super successful. You're gonna be successful in this. Just ride it out.
Yes, and I wanted to mention the water thing. I'm a Pisces.
Are
so
you?
I feel like the introduction to it makes
Thank you for
sense.
confirming that. No, because I thought it was so dope that I saw a whale at first, I'm gonna leave you with a card, okay? Which is funny. It's 13 back here, Debbie.
That's my number.
It's your number?
13. That's my birthday, March 13th.
Stop. All right, that's very cool.
You're Pisces too.
I love me and Pisces.
It's fork in the road, okay? So what I'm saying to you, I feel as though what I'm saying is correct. You're either going to, if you keep with this idea of it's after that feeling that's what I'm looking for, you're just gonna have to learn another whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You're not off track. It's just you're gonna have to learn like learn it a little bit longer. But if you really let this sit in, that feeling of excitement and that feeling of gratefulness is what you're truly seeking, then that you're choosing the quicker way, the better way, is what I want to say to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you're very cool.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. So I just have 5 more minutes. I'm going to kind of see if anything kind of comes through, and we'll, go there.
I can go set up.
Can I have your name?
Brittany?
Brittany. Brittany. So, interesting, a lot of animals coming through. Sometimes animals come through a lot as symmetry, it's like symbolism. So, in this time that I have with you, how do you connect with like ravens or crows in any way?
I find a lot of connection with like spiritual signs through birds.
Do you?
I
Okay,
pay
so
attention to them a lot and I acknowledge them.
okay, thank you for that confirmation. So, and what do you feel like? What confirmation do you get, like when you see a certain bird, or like just when you're seeing it?
Yeah, I think they'll just like come into my view at like the right time or something, and I just acknowledge it as like a sign from spirit source.
So if this resonates with you, because I'm feeling, I don't know why they want me to make it specific for you. Intention's everything, right? And when you set the intention that this is what this is going to mean and this is what that's going to mean, it creates a spark within you of intuition that will allow you to receive messages. And I feel as though you already kind of find your own way of your own intuition, but for some reason they're bringing up the birds, and since you're saying there's like some special significance, they're giving me this thing which I've never done, so this is interesting. But like, start assigning meanings to the different birds.
Okay.
For yourself, being like spirit, like when I see this type of bird, I want that to mean, I want this to be talking about this area. Or when I'm looking for this, and not that we're like looking out being like, send me signs kind of thing, but I feel as though there's something there to elevate you in, because this has nothing to do with the birds. It's just an exercise that they want you to do. Do you do any type of like tarot or like readings for yourself in any way? Like,
not myself, but yeah, like we'll get cards through. We follow James and we'll do a Tarot Tuesdays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Emily will pull cards for us.
Very cool. All right, so this is just an exercise, is the way they're telling me, like using this weird thing that explains, and if it doesn't resonate.
I read something recently about somebody who asked for like a specific bird for like when they knew that their money
Are you kidding? I've never heard this before. That's so cool.
I just read that. Like,
that is
a cool idea. And then I swear I saw one because it was like a blue jay or something. And it crossed my mind when I saw it.
Thank you for saying.
Yeah.
That's a message. Blue jays are very significant for me. So look at your intuition already coming up. So it's an exercise for you.
Okay.
This is just for you to kind of like continue to facilitate and like, you know what I mean? Just nurture that relationship with your intuition and your ability to connect with source, because we all have that ability. And if you have the desire to kind of like exercise it more, this is something where you can kind of connect also. And I think it's very symbolic because, obviously the birds of the airs, all these messages and everything that's kind of coming through for you. Do you have any clarifying questions before I close out, or something I said jumped something up? I got a minute or two. Nothing I can think of. That's all right. And I think that it's appropriate. I'm gonna give you an angel card and see what comes up, with the wings and all. Okay, I'm gonna take these both. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm leaving you with, this is some powerful stuff, so you need to kind of let this marinate. This is something that I feel as though, so angel of healing equals a 7, that's a spiritual number. It's really, really important that if that like resonates with you, understand that if you feel like being led into the way of being a healer, okay, and this is channeling, okay, and it's 8. So understand that becoming the healer, if that's something you resonate in any way with, it's your healing journey that you will discover your gifts and your abilities and the way that you do things, okay? So put emphasis on your own journey, and put emphasis, because people often go out and be like, oh, I want to do this, and so they start thinking this is how they're going to grow with outside energy. No, bring it inward and pour into your own cup and allow that energy to come out as a wellspring and out of your abundance. is where you will share whatever it is. It doesn't have to be professional. It could just be with your friends, for all you know, your family or those you encounter. I'm not going to limit you. You'll decide how that wants to express itself. But yeah, let that sit with you.
Thank you so
And your name again?
Brittany.
Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. You're pretty sweet. So thank you, everybody. My time is up today. Yeah, stay blessed and enjoy the rest of the festival. All right. All right.